So that took another year and a half. And along the way, we did some other, smaller type projects to try to really elevate the neighbors' concerns about crosswalk safety, including a neighborhood-driven or neighborhood-made video with the support of the YMCA about crosswalk safety. And then finally in August, just this past August, that City Commission approved the truck route ordinance, and Granville was downgraded from a truck route to a major route. I'll kind of skip over this, but this is just sort of informational. You can see kind of all the truck routes. So one piece, again, in terms of the levels of working towards these community change, one element where we're really kind of at right now with the truck route is, yes, the ordinance has been changed. Granville Avenue has been downgraded, but and basically what that means is that unless a truck is making a local delivery, that they really shouldn't be on Granville Avenue. There's, in terms of moving forward on that, there's still sort of that piece of implementation that needs to be done, informing, engaging business owners. And so I wanted to kind of point out some of the collaborative partners that we worked with to at least get to the point with the ordinance amendment change. And so this is another technique if you were able to garner support from other community organizations. And so this was a list of individuals and community organizations who wanted to sign on to our request to City Commission that they approve the truck route ordinance amendment. As I mentioned before, we'd also created a crosswalk safety video, so there's a companion piece. So where we are going, so we have been able to change the law, but as I mentioned, there's actually sort of that implementation piece that needs to happen, implementation. And so that includes education and engagement of businesses that are generating the truck traffic. And so things are complicated a little bit by our proximity to US 131. And so trucks are not legally able to be barred due to the federal, the highway being owned federally. And so we're working on some enforcement type issues as well, kind of what exactly that means. So what we're trying to do, again, to take an additional, kind of constantly trying to take these little steps forward. We've been working with West Michigan Sustainable Business Forum to do a collaborative grant request specifically to identify and engage and inform those businesses who are, we kind of call the bad actors, aren't rerouting when they should. We've been in conversations and trying to partner with our city departments, including mobile GR and parking services or traffic safety. And they have committed to doing a commercial vehicle traffic study both now and in a follow-up in the spring. Data will be really important as we move forward to have kind of those counts and be able to continue to make our case on additional changes going forward. They've also committed to developing some communications that we can use for with those businesses that might be generating truck traffic, and also researching, some alternatives, like things like maybe time of day restriction. So perhaps for that local truck delivery, is there a way that we could have it just be like early in the morning or in the evening? So as during the day when families are out or kids are out, it, reduces that noise and the unsafe feeling of being able to cross the street. So another partner is Rapids Venture. We're pursuing an air quality monitoring device to be located in Roosevelt Park. And again, that's really kind of more around having the data in the future to be able to continue to make our case.
Right.
So really all of these efforts, I think, just represent just sort of those incremental steps that we have taken. And this, I just included a few pictures here of the neighbors who were involved in making the crosswalk safety video. And I think, again, that's another strategy of showing community involved. That can be influential really in itself. And seeing, how it's really truly impacting people who live and work there every day.
Great.
So I ran through that really quickly, hopefully, but I'm happy to answer any questions or stay open to any comments.
Sounds great, Amy. Thank you so much. And I apologize for Zoom not working.
Oh,
So,
it happens.
I'm gonna, Fran Dalton was supposed to be the workshop moderator. So I guess if there are any questions, if we could do about 5 minutes only of questions, and we'll queue up Sarah Simmons and her crew for public health, that would be terrific. So if there anybody wants to throw a question into the chat that's specific to Amy's presentation. We can also do a lot of this during networking time. So if you want to talk to Amy during networking, that would be cool too. Well, we were planning to go just to 8:30, Fran, for the whole thing. So that's the plan. We're going to try to stick with that.
No, I was really asking a question of Amy.
To Amy.
Yeah.
How long did it take Amy from the start of this project to now?
Sorry, can I clarify so that how long?
When did you begin the process, Amy?
Well, a lot of the action was kicked off in 2016 or actually 2017 when the area specific plan was approved. I think that really brought attention to it. So I guess you can say, 2017. When I started the neighborhood association in 2017, right after that, basically asked the board, what are our priorities? What's the major kind of goals moving forward? And that was really number one, get the truck route changed. It is such a important issue and impacts quality of life in such a large way that it was really the number one priority. So knowing that we have amended the truck route, it's as I wanted to say, it's still ongoing because it's not like one day there's no trucks, and that's not even necessarily the intention that we didn't want any trucks, but wanted to reduce them. And so now we're need to take that next step to work with the businesses to show that reduction.
Great, thanks, Amy. I think that Mary Bridget wanted to know what were their qualifications regarding truck sizes, and what about buses?
So my understanding is the truck or the commercial vehicle count that they are going to be, when I say they, the city of Grand Rapids is going to be conducting now and again in the spring, actually has about 12 or 13 different vehicle classifications. So they can actually determine or categorize that. So, and I think really what we're talking about as a neighborhood are the industrial semi trucks that are carrying gravel or product, not even, not like a bus or, those types of things. So there's very clearly ones that are much more, I guess, industrial that create a lot of noise and a lot of dust.
Great. Okay, thanks. And I think one more question Jess asked, how do you feel about the ease and safety of crossing streets near you?
So in Roosevelt Park?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's generally, I think citywide, that's an issue. I mean, there's been a lot of talk around the crosswalk ordinance and the drivers not really either understanding it or following it. So yes, that is does not feel safe, even though we do. So even outside of my office in Roosevelt Park, we have one of the flashing crosswalk signs. People don't pay attention to it, and so I think that's a whole nother another issue, and I don't think it's necessarily unique to Roosevelt Park. I think it's citywide,
Mhm.
but unfortunately, it does not feel safe crossing right now.